What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Boxing, aka MKO Pugilism. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on TikTok too. So let's get into this one. So there's some great news for boxing fans all over the world, and that is that Mr. Excellency, Mr. Excellent, Turki Alalsheikh has announced that he is now no longer going to be doing pay-per-view fights. So he described it in this way. He said, specifically on Twitter, on X, should we say now, he said, right, as of November, there's going to be no more pay-per-views. So what that's going to mean is that you're not going to have to pay extra. It's just going to be a case of, if you're a DAZN subscriber, you're going to get all the fights. And he said specifically the Riyadh season cards, which are, we've seen loads of them throughout the years, and the ring cards like what Hamza Shiraz fought Edgar Berlanga on, and the other, ring cards like when you had the triple header in New York City, that one with Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo, where those three headlined. All fights like that now, all these fights promoted by Turki Alalsheikh, they're all going to be off of pay-per-view, so you're not going to have to pay extra for them. And for me, it's excellent news, and I think it's a part of, obviously, Turki Alalsheikh coming to sort of the realization that the times where boxing was at its height of popularity, the times I can remember, like from my childhood, where we had Chris Eubank versus Nigel Benn, and there's tens of millions of people watching it. I think you're talking something crazy like 30 million, or it could even have been more million people watching that. It was all accessible to people, even back in the 70s and so on, when Ali was fighting, and 80s, 90s. A lot of this stuff, these great fighters that we've all watched in the past, you were able to access these fights on your terrestrial TV, like for us here in the UK, on your ITV, BBC and whatnot. And, these were things that you could just access on your normal television. And I think Turki Alalsheikh, he's probably realizing this, that, look at the history of boxing. This is a time when it was at its height, when it was accessible to the average Joe, to the sort of general public. So I think this is an excellent way now, in the days of streaming, where you can attract a lot more people, because I find pay-per-views, especially at the prices that, you've got to pay in the United States, $80, I hear of prices like that, $70, $50, all these big money that people have to pay. And I mean, to be fair, as a Brit, I kind of, feel like I'm in a privileged position, because over here you're talking £20, £25 at the most. So it's not too bad for us over here, but even that is irritating, especially when the fights don't deliver. So yeah, excellent news. And obviously more on this will come out as to how exactly it will work, how it might work for non-subscribers. For non-subscribers, it might be a case of they just subscribe, and then they've got to have it for the month or whatever. They pay that one-off whatever fee it is for the month. I think it's about £20 over here. But yeah, it's good news. If you're a subscriber to DAZN, excellent news, because it means now you'll get what DAZN promised to us in the beginning, which was the end of pay-per-view, because that was Eddie Hearn's thing that he was saying in the beginning when he first joined DAZN, and it all came out. It was all fresh and new, and they were offering you subscriptions for like 99 pence over here, under £1. And I remember that was excellent. I enjoyed that period. And that was what they were saying. Hearn and DAZN, they were all saying, well, this is the end of pay-per-view. It's all going to be subscription-based. And I think, yeah, excellent news for boxing fans. I don't think other sort of networks and services are going to be able to follow suit, because I think you need to have very deep pockets to be able to pay these fighters what they want to get and all this. So I think it's probably not going to be something everyone or every promoter or TV company can afford to make. I think it's probably going to just be DAZN and Turkey Alalsheikh, because he's got those deep pockets where he can pay guys enormous amounts of money without even blinking, without even thinking. So he's got the budget to do this. But others, say, I don't know, I doubt you'll see this on like a Sky or whatever, or TNT, or with PBC and Amazon. I think you are still gonna see pay-per-views, but it just won't be in these Riyadh season and Ring Magazine events. And yeah, excellent. If you're a fan of boxing, it's brilliant, because in a sense you could argue that most of the big fights that happen in the world today, they are on these Ring Magazine and Riyadh season cards. So you're pretty much going to get the vast majority of the box, because they pretty much dominate it so you're going to get most of your boxing now for not free, but included in that DAZN subscription, which is excellent, because we're all into streaming nowadays. Everyone's got Netflix, everyone's got Prime. So yeah, great stuff. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. And are you a skeptic? Do you think this maybe won't last long? But anyway, let me know. And until next time, it's MKO Boxing, over and out.